What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Horror, this is Ethan Horror, and today we are back with our horror movie tier list. Today we have part 3. If you guys don't know, I'm going to be going through a whole bunch of horror franchises, 25 to be exact, and ranking all of their movies. So today we are at part 3. We still have 25 franchises, but next in the part 4s, we will have 5 drop out, I think. So we will have 20 to rank instead of 25, so the video will be a little bit shorter, but we're just going to keep going if they drop out. So let's get into it.
I want to play a game.
Here's Johnny!
This is God. It's showtime.
But it brings us to our current suspects. Ethan.
Hey, here we are at the tier list. You guys know how this works. Absolute favorites, good, watchable, bad, dreadful. We got the same order for the movies, so we're going to start off with Friday the 13th, which is my favorite franchise of all the horror movies, and part 3 is going to go unwatchable. I was very underwhelmed when I first watched this movie, and it did not change. It's still very underwhelming. A huge downgrade from the first two. I think the first one's pretty good. I think the second one's incredible, so I was really disappointed in this one. And the final girl, I think, is a little bit weak. It's like a fan favorite, but I do not like the final girl in this. But it is the first time I get to see Jason wearing his hockey mask, so that is a good thing. And by the way, this is where I started to notice a decline in the quality of the movies, so expect bad and dreadful to be a little full. But not in this one, because Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is one of the greatest part 3s in all of horror. Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is phenomenal. I don't think it's quite up to the quality of the original. Some people think it's a little bit better. Some people think it's just as good. I don't. I think there's definitely some knocks against it. There's still some knocks against the original, but I think it is pretty close to the best part 3 of all time. Scary Movie 3. Bad. I'm putting it in bad and not dreadful because I did laugh at a few points in this movie. That's the only reason. Walking Dead Season 3. I'm going to put this one in absolute favorites. This is my favorite season of The Walking Dead. It did get number 1 on my Walking Dead season ranking. You can go check that out. That's a good ranking that I did a little while back when I finished the series. So go watch that one. Carrie 2002. I like every installment in the Carrie franchise. There's 4. This is the first of 2 remakes. I'm going to put it in good. I don't think it's quite up to the absolute favorites quality, but I think it's going to go in good. Honestly, this has nothing to do with Carrie. I think this is going to be the best, most well-rounded bell curve of a tier list because there's some good ones, there's some bad ones, but most of them are just eh. So, Carrie remake, I love it. It's got Catherine Isabel. You know I love her. But I forget the leading actress's name, but she does a phenomenal job as Carrie. Lives up to Sissy Spacek's performance, but does not top it, because I don't know if you're going to be able to top that. Next up, we have Scream 3, watchable. This part 2 and part 3 are just so bad because they had to rewrite the script so many times because of leaks, and it just didn't really work out for them. Which, it sucks, but it did affect the movie a lot. This one's, I think, is significantly better than part 2. Still not enough to put it a tier above, because I still think the killer reveal is terrible. So that is a huge knock. Purge Election Year. I'm going to put it in good. Between Purge Anarchy and Purge Election Year, those are the 2 good Purge movies. I think the rest of them are pretty bad. But those 2 are pretty good. So, honestly, everything I said about Purge Anarchy, I don't love all the Purge movies. I wouldn't say they're my favorite type of horror movie, but they are alright. Psycho 3. Watchable. It's an alright slasher. That's literally all I have to say about it. It's not a terrible movie. It's just an alright slasher movie with Norman Bates. And it kind of adds to the lore of the whole Psycho story, so I think it's pretty good. Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. I'm going to put it in bad. Not quite dreadful, but still bad. Very disappointing that they did not get James Wan to direct it, because if he did, I assume it would be a masterpiece. I'm hoping and praying Conjuring 4 is good, because the first two Conjuring movies are incredible, and this one is a steaming pile of poop. Annabelle Comes Home. I'm going to put Annabelle Comes Home in watchable. Very fun, but not in a great movie. I could literally tell you the beats of this movie. It's so prototypical that it's not even funny. Like, you can just, it's kind of like Countdown. You can tell the exact beats of the movie, how it's going to go, without even watching it. So, it's very fun, very action-packed, very scary, too. Good characters, but predictable. Critters 3. There's a dreadful. That is the worst Critters movie. Genuinely think it's horrible. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. And Leonardo DiCaprio. It's his first movie. What was he doing in this? The world will never know. But Halloween 3. I don't hate it because it doesn't have Michael in it. I'm going to put it in watchable. I don't dislike it because it doesn't have Michael in it. I get that that's fine. I'm not a huge Michael fan anyway. I like him, but I'm not a huge Halloween fan. So it wasn't like sacrilegious that it doesn't, it was supposed to be an anthology, whatever. I just don't like the movie. I just don't think it's very good. I mean, it's watchable, but I just don't think it's very good. That's why I'm putting it in the middle, not because it doesn't have Michael. Jaws 3D, dreadful. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Most of the Jaws sequels are. You'll see Jaws The Revenge next. That will be, spoiler, in the exact same position. So, yeah. Moving on. Leprechaun 3. I'm going to put Leprechaun 3 in good. Okay, I get it. It's a Leprechaun movie. It is not good. But that movie is fun, and it is everything I want out of a cheesy 90s Leprechaun horror movie. And it goes to Las Vegas. They go to Las Vegas. Leprechaun. And he gambles, and it is so fun all the way through. It is insane, and it does not make a single bit of sense, but I think it is super hilarious and super fun. Not necessarily a good movie, very fun movie. That's why it's in good. Saw 3. I'll put it in watchable. I didn't love Saw 3. I thought it was easily the weakest of the first 3 Saw movies. One of the weakest of the franchise, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of Saw 3. Helps that, like, most of the characters suck. The traps are good. There's some good traps, as always, but Saw 3 was pretty disappointing. Next up, we have Evil Bong 3, The Wrath of Bong. This one actually does a decent job at capturing the magic of the first film. It's dirty and gross and really fun. So that's what I want from an Evil Bong movie. Still going in bad because it's an Evil Bong movie, but I thought it was pretty fun. So it's very disgusting, like all of them are, but for Evil Bong standards, pretty good. Oh yeah, and Evie is not the villain in this one either, so that's cool. Next up, we have Insidious Chapter 3, my favorite Insidious movie, and you know what? I'm feeling generous. Let's toss it in absolute favorites. Might not be one of my absolute favorite horror movies, but I genuinely think it is one of the most scary horror movies. I think it is really good. Scarier than the first one, in my opinion. I think it's got some better jump scares. I think it's a little bit better directed. The character's a little bit better. I do really like Insidious Chapter 3. You can see my opinions, my top 10 scariest video, and my Insidious ranking if you want to go check that out, because I talk good about that one in both of those rankings. The Blair Witch remake. Watchable. Not great, not bad. It's a remake to the Blair Witch. I don't like you get to see the witch in it. That does kind of take it down a notch for me, but it's a watchable movie. I'm not gonna complain too much. Oh, we're kind of blowing through these. We're only at like 10 minutes. Jeez. All right, Alien 3. It's one of these bottom two, but I'm gonna put it in bad just because I'm not. I mean, I get that the beginning is sacrilegious to the first two movies, but I don't think it's too bad. I mean, sure, you killed off Newt and Hicks. Is that his name? Like, oh my god, I'm gonna get flamed. I don't remember the guy's name. But yeah, you kill those two off. That sucks. Hate that. But the Alien movie that we got was not too horrendous. So it's gonna go in bad, but could have been a lot worse. It Chapter 2, however, is gonna go in good. I'm a defender of It Chapter 2. I think it's really good. But I mean, obviously not absolute favorites level good, but I do think it's really good. Repetitive, predictable, sure. Not as good as the first half, definitely. But I think it's better than... to be fair, I prefer it to the second half of the miniseries. Honestly, I prefer it to the whole miniseries, so I think it's pretty decent. But, I mean, borderline decent, because I obviously think it's a little bit better than decent, because I have it in good. Paranormal Activity 3... Wow, we are going to have a lot in the top again. Jesus Christ, I just love horror movies. Paranormal Activity 3, absolute favorites. One of my favorite horror movies of all time. The Paranormal Activity 1 and 3, beautiful. Love them. Got the whole box set back here. One of my favorite box sets I own. Yeah, it perfectly recaptures the magic of the first movie, brings it to a different decade, and gives you a believable concept. Nice Paranormal Activity movie. I love Paranormal Activity. It's going up to the top. Then we have Child's Play 3. I'm going to put it in watchable. Child's Play 3 is nowhere near my favorite Child's Play movie. I don't think it deserves the hate it gets for being like the same as the first two. Not even close. I mean, maybe a little bit, like it's a doll chasing after him, but Andy is no longer the one being chased. He's now trying to stop the doll from getting to the kid, and you know, I mean, that really cool final act, it takes place in a military camp. I don't think it's anything like the first two, but sure, I'm gonna put it in watchable, the very least watchable. Final Destination 3. This is my favorite Final Destination movie, but honestly, I wouldn't even put it in. I wouldn't put it anywhere above watchable. I think... What just happened? Okay, whatever. But I think pretty much all the Final Destination movies are going to go in watchable, so... Even my favorite, because I don't think they're that great. Stranger Things 3 is going to go up to absolute favorites. TV shows... kind of biased because they have a lot more time to make them good. They're a lot longer, get to spend a lot more time with the characters and the story, so obviously the seasons of TV are going to get a little bit higher by default. So sorry if you don't like that they were added to the list. I just put them in there because I felt like it, and it's my video. So Strangers Chapter 1. What was that? What was that? That was pitiful. And that is going to be it for today's video. Remember, if you did enjoy, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Bell notification, that's what I was going to say. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when I post any brand new videos. Otherwise, comment down below some more video ideas, or comment down below some of your own tier rankings. I will try to link to it in the comments, but Tier Maker, it's super hard to link to a tier list. So if I don't, I'm sorry. You can look it up on Tier Maker if you want to do it yourself. Otherwise, I'll be back with part 4s. I don't know how far I'm gonna go. Maybe part 7s will be the cutoff, but just know we will be